This news update is brought to you by...
Everyone's looking for more space.
How many pairs of shoes do you need?
Closet space.
Circle again, I think I see one.
Parking space.
And that is how Pythagoras theorem works, understand?
Even headspace. But when it comes to data storage, MyCloud from Lime has plenty of room for you. Upgrade to a Lime data plan of 500 megs or more and get 3 gigs of MyCloud data storage free. It's great for storing photos, music, and much more. So don't delete it. Store it on MyCloud from Lime. It's the only space to be.
Upgrade to Lime!
Welcome to the Barbados Today Morning News Update. It's Thursday, January the 29th, 2015. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. We begin with news that a police officer, his brother, and a businessman are due to appear in court this morning on drugs charges. 37-year-old Special Constable Jimmy Thorne of Courtshall in St. John, his civilian sibling, 32-year-old Jamal Thorne of Cherry Grove, also in St. John, and the 37-year-old businessman Rosh Ashton of Rosemont Deacons Farm, St. Michael, are together charged with a total of 11 drug-related offences. The charges stem from a police interception of a motor car on Bay Street, St. Michael, on the night of January 25th. The constable is facing 2 counts of possession and 1 each of possession with intent to supply and trafficking. His brother Jamal is accused of 2 counts each of possession, possession with intent to supply and trafficking. Businessman Ashton has to answer to acts preparatory for the purpose of trafficking. Prime Minister Freundel Stuart is blaming mismanagement by the private owners of the sugar industry for its declining fortunes. A tough-talking Prime Minister told yesterday's Barbados Chamber of Commerce and Industry luncheon that it was successive governments which had to intervene to save the sector.
The problems in the sugar industry are not recent problems. And I think it is it is both happy and fortuitous for people involved in the industry to take a stick now and beat the government, because the truth is the government should not have been involved in it at all. It was mismanaged. I did Caribbean economic history at the University of the West Indies. I've spent the better part of my adult life studying the sugar industry of Barbados and the sugar industry of the Caribbean. And from the 19th century, the sugar industry of Barbados and other parts of the Caribbean, Barbados in particular, was in decline, and the people who were managing it did nothing at all to arrest the decline. The government stepped in the early 1990s and tried to save it.
Prime Minister Stewart also gave an update on the long-delayed refund of taxes. He told the business leaders that the delays in refunds for VAT, income tax and corporation tax were partly due to government's cash flow problems. But he revealed that the VAT Act was being amended to facilitate speedier payouts.
We got a look taken at it by the Caribbean Technical Assistance Center, and the Cabinet has discussed this issue at length. And it is our view that the application of the VAT has to be simplified, and simplified in that area that deals with zero rating. Because it is in the context of zero rating that all these refunds and so on about which businesses have to complain, it's in that area that this issue arises. And therefore, we're going to be, as part of a program of fairly comprehensive tax reform, we're going to be looking at amendments to the VAT to put it on a completely different footing, primarily items that are VATable and items which qualify for exemption. That zero rating middle way has been causing too many administrative and financial problems.
Culture Minister Stephen Lashley is calling for a greater private sector participation in Crop Over Festival. Lashley made the call as he addressed a sponsorship launch for the festival at Kensington Oval yesterday. He said since Crop Over positively impacts Barbados, there must be a mechanism to ensure greater financial resources on the sector's part.
In my view, there must be more private sector participation and private sector involvement in the festival. I believe that I say this every year, but the private sector, that $55 billion in economic activity, does not directly flow into the coffers of government. It is earned by private sector partners, shops, stores, entities, individuals, vendors, and I believe that there need to be a greater private sector participation and ownership of the festival to even grow that figure even more. We are talking a lot about how the culture industry sector can impact more on the Barbados economy. I believe that we can even grow the culture industry's impact, economic impact, even more phenomenally. But we have to have certainly all hands on deck and a refocusing of that involvement, starting with the Crop Over Festival.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
It's grand. It's a celebration, and it's just for you. It's Barbados Today's birthday bash, and we are big on giving. Join the party and dance away with this fantastic deal. Book a full-page graphic ad during our birthday week, January 26th to 30, for an unbelievable $500. Or book 5 email blasts. Or better yet, take both offers and get great value. Join the celebrations on the #1 media platform of choice. RSVP with our Barbados Today birthday team or Misa and Tamisha at 417-1000. Let's get this party started.
To news from the region now, Trinidad's opposition leader Dr. Keith Rowley joins calls for demanding that House Speaker Wade Mark demits office. Dr. Rowley's call comes even after the House Speaker apologized for comments he made in Parliament about Finance Minister Larry Hawaii.
I notice that he is issuing an apology to the judiciary. I think he owes a bigger apology to the Parliament, and the best apology is to take his exit.
And finally, this next story may shock you. A young mother in Washington State was charged with attempted murder after she allegedly cut her children's throat in an attempt to keep them quiet. More in this CNN report.
Along 10th Court Southeast in Olympia, residents desperately trying to understand how their beloved neighbor, a mother of 3, could be accused of trying to kill her 3 children. 29-year-old Christina Booth made her first appearance in court through a video stream today.
Ma'am, are you Christina Eva Booth?
Yes, sir.
Documents say Booth and her husband had been drinking Saturday night when the mother took a kitchen knife and cut the throat of all 3 of her children, a 2-year-old toddler and 2 6-month-old twins. The mother, who was uncontrollably crying, called 911, saying her children were bleeding. Her husband then got on the phone with the dispatcher.
What's going on with the babies? They're bleeding right now. We need to get an ambulance immediately.
Court documents say the husband, a soldier based at JBLM, told police Christina had been stressed raising the children and had also been taking medication for postpartum depression.
And that's our morning news update, but you can join us again this afternoon. But until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper and email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also tune into Channel 101 on Lime TV as well as Mix 96.9 FM to get all the latest news and sports. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.
This news update is brought to you by...
Everyone's looking for more space.
How many pairs of shoes do you need?
Closet space.
Circle again, I think I see one.
Parking space.
And that is how Pythagoras theorem works. Understand?
Even headspace. But when it comes to data storage, MyCloud from Lime has plenty of room for you. Upgrade to a Lime data plan of 500 megs or more and get 3 gigs of MyCloud data storage free. It's great for storing photos, music, and much more. So don't delete it. Store it on MyCloud from Lime. It's the only space to be.